What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Bass heads. Impromptu live stream. Sitting here planning some stuff. And I figure, I don't know, there's something about just getting the ideas off my head in real time. But I was thinking about something that I saw on an Instagram post this morning, Instagram reel. And I'm not even going to say who the creator is. He ain't really my cup of tea necessarily. What's up, David? He's not really my cup of tea necessarily because he seems a little bit on the arrogant side to me, but I shouldn't have said that out loud. What's up, Samson? But he said something today. He was talking about drummers, man, and drummers and their licks and, and all that stuff. And, it really made me think he was spot on. He was right. I shouldn't have said all that stuff. I didn't mean for my inside thoughts to come out. The man is doing what he's doing. He be a little bit much sometimes, but that's just me. I'm a little much sometimes too. Maybe I'm a little bit much now. But it really made me think about the current space that we're in. And I know that there's memes and stuff like that talking about old heads and OGs, unks and all that, kind of but here's the thing. Now, y'all know I've done a lot of gigs on Bourbon Street, for instance, right? Man, a couple weeks ago, I was playing, and I don't love the solo. I always feel self-conscious about my solos or whatever. But this particular day, I played my ass off. And I wanted to be like my man in Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Keyboard player, same thing. Hell of a soloist. Soloing his ass off. But the environment that we're in, nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. Right? When I'm a band leader, and times, and I don't do the band leader thing a whole lot right now because that's not really my focus. But in a band leader role, man, listen, when it comes to drummers, what's up, Derek? What's up, Samson? When it comes to drummers, for instance, because I'm a bass player and I'm, man, listen, it's like if a dude or a girl shows up to the gig and you got a whole bunch of shit, I automatically feel like this is going to be too much. They're not going to play for the room. They're going to do too much. You know what I mean? My favorite drummers. Are you not entertained? My favorite drummers are drummers that can show up to a gig with a kick drum, a snare, hi-hat. Because that's really, for me, that's what I need. I need you to be musical with what you have, right? Now, I'm speaking for myself when I'm in a band leader role, right? When I'm in a band leader role, can you learn the parts? Can you play the parts? Did you learn the songs? Are you reliable and easy to work with? Can you show up? Can you play with the highest regard for the music and everybody else on stage more than your ego? That's my thing, right? Gear, licks, because that's what I was talking about. There's a lick. Ooh, I've been working on this lick. Whatever the lick is, and you play the lick and nobody does nothing. Nobody reacts. Nobody says anything to the crowd because nobody gives a shit. Quite honestly. And it depends on the environment that you're in. Right? Nobody cares what amp I'm playing through. They care whether or not, like the singer, a singer is not, I don't know many singers, and this is no shade to the singers I know, but I don't know a lot of singers that can really describe what they like or don't like about a sound. They just know whether or not they like it or they don't like it. A lot of people don't, and that's not shade to them, but a lot of people just don't have the vocabulary to say this or that. I'll give you the mark of a good MD. There was an MD I used to work with out on the West Coast, and we were playing with a pop star from the 90s. We were playing with a pop star, and I'm watching him do this sound check, and he's walking around the stage, and he's telling the sound guy what he wants to hear in all the monitors. You know, it wasn't just. It's just so much more to that, but he had the vocabulary for that, right? Not a lot of people have that vocabulary. So, but let me get back on track here. I did make some notes. Y'all know I could tangent. It's first thing in the morning. It's not first thing in the morning, but maybe I need some more coffee. Historically, band leaders are going to ask 3 questions. Are they going to show up on time and be prepared? Are they going to play the parts, right? Are they going to make my job easier or harder? Let me say that again. Will they show up on time and prepared? Are they going to hold a pocket? Are they going to play the parts? Will they make my job easier or harder? When I show up to a gig, and there was a gig I showed up to last year, and man, the drum, and I'm not talking shit on the drummer. I'm talking it was there. But when I walked in and I saw that I was going to have to be like this, listen, I don't have to account just for my body. I got to account for this and this. Right? What's up, Michael? Right? Now I look in the drummer, and the venue we're at is small. But you would think that the drummer was playing for like he was playing at a stadium. I'm like, God damn. So now I'm here like this. The guitar player is like this. It's too loud. All that. That's just the truth. Because all of that stuff is really for them and their benefit. It's not for anybody else, right? So I saw on the bass forum the other day, somebody asked, what pedal should I buy as a beginner? Well, a tuner. But having a tuner pedal by itself is kind of nonsensical. Why? Because all you have, they make headstock tuners, they make the strap tuners, all that. If you have just a pedal tuner, now you gotta have a battery for that thing. You gotta have a plug for that thing. You gotta have an extra cable for that thing. So a pedal, a tuner pedal all by itself is nonsensical. Well, then what pedals do you need? Let me show you what's on my pedal board. I'm not a big pedal guy, right? And I play a lot of run and gun type things, right? A lot of run and gun type. Hey, bruh, can you do this gig? Can you do this gig this night? Sure. Okay. Last gig I played was at a restaurant. I didn't need no pedals whatsoever. I brought a 5-string bass because I really didn't know. A 5-string, when everybody doesn't need to play a 5-string. I play a 5-string because the low B string is like an insurance policy. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But my pedal board, this is not hooked up. So I got a fuzz pedal, right? But that's not hooked to anything. Tuner, a compressor, an octave, and an envelope filter. Because in my world, these need a good dusting. In my world, these things are going to be the most practical, right? The next pedal that I have would be the fuzz, but this is so not practical for most things. This goes on the board if I'm doing something, if I'm doing something when I got to pull out some Larry Graham and stuff, then I will use this, right? Let's see. What else do I have here? I'm gonna show you a couple of things. I used to use this guy for solos and stuff. I don't really use this no more because the sound got a little played. Everybody want to use. I have a Micropogue too, but this thing is real digital sounding. And this I use sometimes, the MXR Phase 90, my custom Phase 90. I'm tangenting. Y'all know I got some undiagnosed ADHD. So, self-diagnosed ADHD. So, pedals, even still, nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. The singer, the band leader, or whatever. All they're going to know is that sounded good or that didn't sound good. That was my point. That's the vocabulary that they're going to have. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. I don't know why I like the way it sounds, but I like the way it sounds. Or they're going to be like, that sounds like shit. And I don't really know why it sounds like shit, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? So, are you going to know the parts? Are you going to make it feel good? And as far as like learning parts, man, you're never going to play a gig and play all the parts exactly the way they go. And in my experience, people don't really want you to do that. They want you to have the main ideas. But if you, within reason, throw in a little something here or there, that's not a big deal. You got to know the parts. You have to have an ear enough to be able to turn. If something goes crazy, singer misses a lyric, drummer drops a stick, something unexpected happens, we cut out a verse or whatever, you still have to be able to hear, but you just have to, know the parts. You know what I mean? Michael's Bass Camp says, as I am new here, do you tend to use active or passive as your go-to bass? Active. Active is my go-to bass. Why? Because of the world that I have typically played in over the years, I need more flexibility. I do have passive basses around here. Now, like this Mike Law has been worked to death. This has been my workhorse for a long time. This got a Trickfish preamp in it, which is very, 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 very musical. Anyway. And my Marco bass has an active preamp in it. I have an Altillier Z coming next month, I think. So you'll be seeing that a lot. It's built sort of on the same order as the Mike Law Black, but it's ash. Anyway, Samson Wood says, again, I think some musicians use pedals to cover up bad notes. I don't know, maybe. But a bad note is going to be a bad note, whether it's, and like guitar players. Oh my God. I was playing at a church one time and this guitar player, in the CCM world, the dudes would have all the little pedal boards with the U2 kind of thing. They have all the, delays and all this. And he's playing and he keep hitting the wrong chord, but he got the delay on it. So it's like the wrong chord, right? And I walked over time because sometimes I'm a little bit of a jerk. And I had a good relationship with the dude. I'm like, hey, bro, which one of them pedals make you play the right chord? Huh? Before I answer that question from C Black, let me just say that the with the pedal board situation. So somebody asks, well, what is the first pedal I should get? And I say a tuner. Well, then you should get some other pedals to go along with that board. But then what pedals do you get? The practical things, compressor, octave, filter. But now you got things like the anagram, you got the helix, you got all that. But I would then, this is why I'm like always, it depends. It depends. Why does it depend? Because if you can't play it, then the pedal board doesn't matter. Do you need the pedal board? You know what I mean? I'm always asking the question, what kind of music do you want to play and who do you want to play it with? Right? Having all of that stuff ain't really practical to my particular bag. So C Black says, you mentioned about your new custom bass from Uruzi. What made you choose them over others? That's a good question. Well, how do I say this? I have some relationships, and I've been curious about the bassist for a long time, and I've had to make some changes in some areas with instrument makers, and so yeah, I because I have a relationship, a sort of peripheral relationship with them, I chose them. But again, you know, for me, for my working life, when I'm working, it's mostly a 5-string. Because I'm mostly doing I don't play with like one band. You know what I mean? I play with several different things. If I were in a band and their whole bag, I'm looking around for my P bass and I don't know where it is. It's in the living room. And their whole bag was like 4-string stuff, P bass with flats, I would rock with that. I would be like, this is the bass I'm gonna use for this gig. But that's not really, you know, like I'm not in a band. I'm a, you know, hey bro, can you do this gig? Yep. What's the song list? Oh, I don't know. We just gonna, you know, whatever. That's sort of my world. You know what I mean? And that's been my world for a long time. So 5-string is an insurance policy. Active electronics is going to give me more flexibility, tonal flexibility. But also, we're not talking about the studio. We're not talking about going on tour. We're talking about going around town, playing gigs around town, maybe a fly date here or there, right? The bass has got to sound good on its own. The bass got to sound good on its own. You can't put a tuxedo on a pig and expect it to be anything other than a pig. It's still going to be a pig. So that's the first thing. For me, like I might, let's take the Mike Lowe. The Mike Lowe has a bright sound to it, right? And it's got active electronics. When a tune comes around where I need a softer, warmer sound, I need to know what to do with my hand in the moment to make that bass warmer, rounder. That's going to be 2 things for me. One, I'm going to roll off the highs as much as possible. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to palm mute. And like I'll give you an example. For the Bourbon Street gig, we'll play anything from blues shuffles to Fantastic Voyage, you know, all that, all in a day. But earlier in the day, we're gonna play I see trees of green, skies of blue, and I say to myself, what a wonderful world. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my thumb, I'm gonna roll off them highs real quick and use my thumb. Boom. You understand what I'm saying? But I need to be able to do that with the bass that I have in my hands right there. And the audience, they don't care. I'm not saying that all audiences won't, but that audience doesn't care. They're there, you know, the singer sounds like shit anyway at certain parts of the day. Not because they're a bad singer, but because they've been working for, you know, they've been singing multiple days the same songs and, you know, they're tired or whatever. But it's an experiential thing for this particular crowd. I hope I'm making sense, and I'm not trying to be insulting to anybody, certainly. And I'm not, you know, just keeping things in perspective. You know, I'm just a guy who's been playing bass a long time in a lot of different environments. So, my thoughts and my advice to anyone who would want advice from me would be to master the fundamentals, learn some songs, okay? Master the fundamentals, learn some songs, be a bass player that people can count on, and serve the music, and not your ego and not your desire to have the latest and greatest gear. I've been playing the same Aguilar GS 112 cabinets since 2010. Since 2010, I've been playing those same cabinets. You know what I mean? Let me see what's happening in these comments. My band leader was frustrated with my output gain. I was using active Warwick through an HX stump. He said I was not putting enough gain, so I got fed up and ditched it for a 300 watt head. Yeah, so you wasn't giving them enough sound, you know? Giving them enough sound. That's cool. You got to do what's right for the gig. Bezel says, do you DI or carry an amp? Most of the time I carry an amp. Now, I'm in New Orleans, so a lot of places will have, on Bourbon Street, there's an Ampeg 810. Let me show you the Hold on a second. Let me see if I can show y'all a cabinet that I no longer bring out of house. I don't bring it out of the house anymore because it's too darn heavy. But hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can show it to you. Let me see. You see that Aguilar? You see that guy right there? Now that cabinet, my friends, is the voice of God. I'm just trying to tell you, that cabinet right there is a beast, but it's also 98 pounds. And it's square, so it's an awkward carry. It's an awkward thing to carry. But I bought that pre-pandemic. I was doing a residency at a club on Bourbon Street, and the only way that I would do the gig is if I could leave that cabinet there, so I wasn't like trying to chuck that cabinet down the street before and after every gig. It's just too big. And so it lived there on Bourbon Street until the day the world shut down. And I left. Left that day, and I took the cabinet with me and I brought it in the house, and it has been here ever since. Do you DI or carry an amp? I meant to show you this. This is my amp of choice. I got two of these, and I've been using this since it came out. I used I had a DB751. Again, impractical. Sounded great, but impractical. Too damn heavy. Impractical. So I sold that. I had an AG500, which is cool, and it was really cool for some stuff, but didn't have enough headroom. This AG700, best of both worlds. I have two of them. And quite honestly, I'd like to get another one. But, I don't know. There's no need for me to chase that. Let me check these comments again. There's a clean DI on the front of that cabinet. Bezel says, how do you work your way through we're going to do whatever gigs? Fundamentals, learning songs, knowing songs. You got to know songs, man. You know, I think you have to take all this stuff and put it into the washing machine together. You have to know the fundamentals, but you also have to know songs. I'm going to also go on, and this is a good place for me to talk about Groove School, my membership. The link is in the description of this video. Right now, let me give you a link, because right now you can, Memorial Day week, you get 25% off the year. So I'm putting that in the chat, right? D. Scroggins, what's up? James Booth, 5-string all day. Yeah. I mean, you know, I love playing 4-string. So how do I get through, you know, we're going to do whatever gigs? Listening to music, learning songs, keeping an inventory. I just put out a video the other day about making you an inventory of songs, making playlists. Yesterday, a video came out about jamming. You know, y'all want the game? If you want some game right now, type a 1 in the chat. If you want some real game, type a 1 in the chat. If you don't want it, it's all good. If y'all want some game, some real game, type a 1 in the chat. Especially if y'all are wondering about, how do I show up at a gig and just survive? There's no set list or nothing like that. I see 2 1s. I see 2 1s, but I got 32 people here. I got 32 people here and only 10 likes. I got 32 people here and 10 likes. I need you to get those likes up, number 1. That's what I need you to do. Get the likes up. And let me see those 1s in the chat. I'm going to show you how to 10x your game right now. I just got excited about it. God dog it. I still got 11 likes. I need to get I got 31 people, 10 likes. Let me get 20 likes. 20 likes for the algorithm. 20 likes for the algorithm. I got 15 likes, going once, going twice. I got 31 people here, only 15 likes. Let me get those 20 likes up. Let's get the algorithm popping. All right? Femi. I used to play with a singer named Femi out in the Bay. Okay. So here's the thing. Right? You want to know what songs you need to know, but you don't know what you need to know. I said this in my last video that came out yesterday. Watch this. Do some screen share here. Okay. This is what you're going to do, my friends. Now, back in the day, we used to do needle drops. You just turn on the radio. What can I play? But this is what you're going to do. Somebody type in the chat where you are from. Just type where you're from. I'm going to do this with the first 2 or 3 that I see. Just type in where you're from, where you're watching from. Type in where you're watching from. All right, I'm going to just pretend that somebody typed in Florida. Watch this. Okay. Austin, Texas. Bands. Okay. Now peep this. 10 Austin bands you have to see. Now, first of all, like I said in the video yesterday, you need to be going out to see live music. If you go out to see live music, I'm not talking about bands that come into town. I'm talking about bands that are in your city that have jam sessions or whatnot. They are typically going to play the same songs over and over and over and over again. It will get to the point where you have songs that it will get to the point where there are songs that you're just kind of expected to know, right? Or expected to fake your way through. Saturday, Sissy Strut is one of those around here, right? You're just supposed to know that. You're just supposed to know that. Wonderful World, you're just supposed to know that. Blue, in my area, you're just supposed to know that, right? So this guy said, let's play something. Free my soul, I wanna get lost and you rockin'. Drift Away. I didn't know, I may have played that song a few years ago, but I know the song. I've heard the song. So I can, but then my ears, I know functional harmony. I know that this song is an Americana type of song. I know that it's going to follow a certain kind of chord progression, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, here we go. Bands, Austin bands that you have to see. Here's 10 local bands, White Denim. Now again, this depends on what kind of music you're trying to play. Okay, this looked like original bands, so let's go back to the drawing board here. Austin, Texas, wedding bands. Best wedding band in Austin. Bali in the house. Baltimore, Maryland in the house. Royal Dukes. Okay, this is a great example. This band, Royal Dukes, let me give you some game real quick. This band is what's called an agency band. How do I know this? Royal Dukes is a sister band to the Nola Dukes here in New Orleans, which is a sister band to the Lucky Devils that I played with in the Bay Area. They're pickup bands. Look at this. Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, all around the world. Peep this. They gonna all play the same stuff. Songs. Look at this. Songs. Top 40 in contemporary. If it's on this list right here, it means that just about, if you live in the States especially, everybody gonna play these. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to play those songs. And you see how the songs are broken down into, this is what I'm talking about, taking inventory. There's no way you should not be able to play My Girl. No way. If you don't know how to play My Girl, learn how to play My Girl. I got a tutorial on that on this channel. You got to know songs. You have to still know songs. There's not a child in the world. Who waits until they go to kindergarten to learn how to and learns grammar before they try to speak. None. I Want You Back. Now, I did redo my I Want You Back tutorial, and I started to put it on YouTube, and then I was like, I need to go on and put that back in the Groove School. So it is there in the Groove School. If you use the link that I put in the chat here, you get 25% off your first year. I'm putting it there again. That deal runs out this week. Okay, these are the songs you need to know. You need to start learning these songs. And I'm going to make you go watch the video I did. I did a live stream and I did a video in the last couple of days showing you how to make playlists using Spotify and Spotlister. You want to go watch those videos. I'm not going to go into that right here. Let's go Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. C Black. C Black. I'm not even getting on y'all asses about no super chats. I ain't seen a super chat yet. But I ain't gonna say nothing. This is game. This is game on top of game on top of game. If you know every way possible, thank you. Somebody's in here saying they love Groove School. It's fire. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Come on. I'm coming with this now. Somebody said they love Groove School. Listen. This is Baltimore, Maryland. Wedding bands. I ought to take this shit down after this, because I'm telling you, this free game. I didn't even have coffee this morning. Hey, have you guys been to Outback Steakhouse? I'm asking for a reason. I went to Outback Steakhouse last night, and it was like the most horrible experience ever. Look at this. Holy moly. Look at this. Y'all see what I see? Bachelor Boys. Guess what, friends? This is the same agency band as those other bands. It's the same band. I didn't know that was going to come up. It's the same band. It's the same agency. You can tell by the website. The website got the same logo. The whole website is set up the same. Watch this. Watch this. Same band. Now, this is the band I used to play with in the Bay Area. I did so many gigs with this band. Same exact thing. And what these bands, oh, that's Sam Dickey. I know that dude. Who do I know here? I only know this guy. I know this guy right here. But what these bands do, I call them the Eyes Wide Shut band. Because when I got into Lucky Devils, you had to be invited to the band. It was like a secret handshake or something. So I played a gig in San Francisco with this brother named Brian Wolf. And Brian wound up putting me, he was one of the producers of the band. And so I wound up getting an email saying, we want you to join this outfit. And that's what happened. Right? Free game. So this game should be sold to you. I should be selling this game. But peep this. Learn these songs. You want to make a few extra dollars on the weekend? This ain't going to be the only thing, but learn some goddamn songs, man. Learn some songs and then get out there and network. Boom. If you want to play synth bass, I have a whole entire synth bass mini course inside of Groove School. 24 Karat Magic is one of those tunes. I'm just trying to tell you, baby. I'm trying to tell you. What did C Black says? This is more than free game. This is the access card to your music scene. Come on, man. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Yep. So anyway, I got excited there. C Black says this is the reason I purchased a synth bass. Come on, man. Y'all better come over to Groove School. Listen, playing bass guitar is not rocket science. I had a guy was asking some questions in the one of the bass forums. I'd be in the bass forums, and we spent a lot of time worrying about the wrong stuff. I bet you are a good face-to-face private instructor. I'm all right. I do all right. I do okay. Listen, man, We are not, I don't know not one bass player that has cured AIDS, COVID, or cancer. Not one. Not one. Our job is simple. The job of a bass player is to link rhythm and harmony. We are the link between rhythm and harmony. The bass player is the most important part of a band. And I'm not saying that because I play that instrument. It's not an ego trip. Because we are the link between rhythm and harmony. If what we play falls off, everything falls off. If what we play is rock solid, everything is rock solid. Zigaboo No-Setlist used to tell me all the time, if you have a good night, I have a good night. If you have a bad night, I have a bad night. Basically, man, cake and icing. Cake and icing. So, soloing, great. Licks, great. But if there's a song like, say, down here in the South, we play a song called Haters. Boom, boom, bo-do-do-dum, dum, bo-do-do-dum, dum, bo-do-do-dum, dum, 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 bo-do-do-dum. Now, I'm going to tell you, the first time I got asked to play that song with a band, it was with a band called Sold Out. I didn't know the song. I wasn't familiar with the song. And so the keyboard player, who I knew I had a relationship with, I asked him to kind of help me out with the bass line. No problem, I got you. I had never heard the song before. So then, bum bum, do da do da 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 do dee do 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 do. I automatically know, okay, it's something in minor. It's something in minor, right? And then I relied on all, you know, it's like a if this then that. If it's minor, then it must be this. Ba ba do 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 ba do 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 ba do 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 ba. Have I ever heard that sound before? Of course. You've heard a similar sound before. So then you start relying on if this then that. I'm just saying, y'all. I was on here way longer than I thought I was going to be. That's not what I wanted to do. But that was game. That was game. If y'all thought that was game, type a 1 in the chat. Some of these songs I'm like, ooh, you need to maybe go in here and learn what. So this is what I would do. This is what I would do if I were you. Golly. I would make this take me down a rabbit hole. If I were you, what I would do. If I were you, this is what I would do. I would go to these songs and I would say, how many of these songs can I play? This is what I would ask myself. I'm asking myself this right now. There's some of these songs I'm like, damn, I haven't played that in a long time. I'm seriously looking for myself right now. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want. Now, I've never played that before. Could I fake my way through it? Yes. Yes, but I know that there's some stuff in there that is like, ooh, you maybe need to figure that out. You can call me Al. That little bass part is not as hard as you think it is. I'm going to just tell you that. Only the good die young. American Girl. I've played American Girl before. I'm going to tell you a song. If you ever asked to play a song, you need to learn. If you're ever confronted with the song, Man, It Feels Like a Woman, do not underestimate that song. That song's got an irregular middle section that will bite you in the ass every single time. I've seen it. Here's another one. Cocktail. And they got a Spotify playlist. They have a playlist. So what do? You can sit here and watch. And guess what? Watch this. Their playlist, this particular band, it's not even the it's their versions. It's their version. I do suggest learning the original versions, but you got to do recon. We got to do some recon. You did? All kind of game. And I'm getting off. Feeling good now. I haven't even had my workout yet. I do need to go to the gym today. Listen, let me put this in the chat one more time. Put this in the chat one more time. It is a plane that I am building alongside flying it. I'm a one-man operation, but I'm proud of what I'm building. And I'm telling you right now that in short order, thousands of bass players are going to be like, holy shit, I can finally play the bass guitar. Holy crap, I can finally walk into a gig, get called for a gig that people, I don't even know people, and they calling me and I can hold this down. Oh my goodness, I can get off work and just come decompress and play my bass after work. That's my mission in life. That's my mission in life, like for real. Because it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. You just need to learn some rules of the road and learn some tunes. Serious. All right? So, it has been a lovely time. Use the link right on James Booth. Use the link that I'm putting in the that is for a limited time. But either way, you can get 7 days. But if you use the link that I just put in the chat stream there, you get 25% off. All right? So, y'all know how to find me, man. If you leave comments, I'm like, usually I get the comments on my phone, so I'll be looking at them like the text messages. And, and then if you have a question or something, see what I can do. But I hope to see you over at the Groove School, friends. Thanks for spending your morning with me, as always. Peace.